Alright, so here she is. The 1960 Jeep forward control that I just picked up this weekend. And someone honking at me. As you saw from the earlier footage of me driving out there to pick it up and some of the footage of the return trip that I included. Sorry I didn't talk during that. I'm not the vlogging type, so this is way beyond what I would like to do. But so I'll give you a quick walk through as I'm running out of light, as you can see this beautiful sky we have. Yeah, so here we are. As you can see, the guy who owned it, that I bought it from, was a big surfer. He said he was huge into surfing, goes all the time. So that's hence the surfboards which came with it, which I had no idea until I showed up and it was on the trailer with the surfboards that it was going with it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with that. On the interior, it's not quite stock. As you can see, it has a pegboard, or at least that's what I call it. It's just kind of like that board that you use for hanging tools in your garage. And the explanation he gave me about that was when he bought this originally, the original version had this white perforated cardboard, and he said this was the closest he could get to replicate it. And I quite like the way it looks. The only thing I don't like is the actual cardboard down here, which needs to be replaced. I'm probably going to make something similar to the side panels for that. Next thing is the steering column, which if you look at some other pictures of other forward controls, you'll notice it's not stock. From actually here to up to here is actually an extension that the owner put on because it was too short for him. He couldn't fit in it. So I might keep that just so other people can drive this besides me. I'm small enough that I'll be able to drive it, but other people probably not. Another thing, you can see the hand holes where the handle used to be. I removed that already just now because I could not steer with that there. I kept hitting my elbow off of it, and once again, the original holes are down here where it should be, and he moved it up there once again because he was hitting his knee on it. So let me lift up the seat here. Alright, so with the seat up, see there's quite a bit of storage back here. I could put I don't know, a whole lot of stuff back there, but let's see if I can do this with one hand. Ugh, not easy. Remove that, and I'll have to go to the passenger side. Alright. And here you can see where I'm talking about as far as height on this. It's way up here, and I would hit my elbow with the elevated steering wheel. And passenger seat also lifts forward, so you can get to that. And the seat's in the way. Forgot about that. Put the camera down for a second. So, as you can see, down there is the engine bay behind me, off to the side. It is a carburetor. That's actually the same type of carb I have on the CJ. And it's interesting. Gives you kind of a weird feeling to have the seat, or the engine behind the seat. Not something you normally deal with. Oh, of course. Oops, sorry, I hit the power button there. So, I got a fire extinguisher back there, some more storage. That's where the battery is kept, under that little case. Alright, so there's the interior. One of the nice things you can see, that's the heater unit. Right here is your heater unit, controls on there and there. The Guy had this custom-made stainless steel insert for cup holders. Once again, continuing surf theme there. Fuel gauge, clock, and your other gauges. Because the Speedo has a spot for fuel and temp, but they aren't hooked up. They're down here. So it's just the Speedo, which I kind of like that. It has a CB tucked up in there, behind all there. So I have a CB radio in there. Move on to the bed. It's custom made flatbed. I'm probably going to change this out. I'm not sure what it was for. As you can see, there's little hooks here for tying down, like, I don't know, maybe a snowmobile or something. They're tie downs, so you could tow something or put something on the back of this technically. I'm not sure what. But I don't like the way it looks. I probably am going to redo this in some nice hardwood or something. Make it look good. Match the rest of the truck. You can see the dual rear wheels, which I can show you. I actually was looking up this not too long ago. Is identifiable by the gross weight, which I don't know if I can get this to focus. I can't, but it's 8,000 pounds. So by that gross weight, I can tell that it was a version that should have had dually rear end. Speaking of dually rear end, there it is. It's a little dark now, running out of time, but it's a massive rear end. A really nice custom exhaust setup here. And hold on, let me get the flash on and that'll help with this. Alright, there we go. So, nice custom exhaust system in here. I love the way it comes out. The only thing is it sprays moisture, water all over the bumpers, which these custom bumpers are fantastic. Really well made, heavy duty. They look good. I love them. And the tow hitch setup. Let's see if I can get a better shot of the rear end now. There we go. And you can get a glimpse of the next thing I'm going to talk about on the edge there, the fuel tank. So, there's the fuel tank and filler neck. It's a 26-gallon tank, you told me, which is interesting. And big tank for this thing. If I ever did give it some better gears, it would be pretty stout. I could go decent distance, like maybe 200 miles, maybe. Other thing of interest, you'll notice on top of the frame here, metal frame, wood. It's the strangest thing. And then even this is wood up here, all the way up top. So that's all wood blocks, which you can see the bed frame is on. Oh, look, there's actual wood underneath there. Interesting. Just have to make nicer wood. But, yeah, it's an interesting thing. That's factory. That's the way it was from factory. This massive U-bolt holding it down there. It is weird. I like it, though. But, just one of those weird kind of things. It's the way they did it. Because of the flatbed. Normally, if you had the non-flatbed version, like just where the frame is, you can see the body mounts here, actually. That's where your normal bed would mount. So you have all the body mounts for a normal bed. All they did was throw blocks of wood for the flatbed versions. It's funny. So, not sure how much weight I can support. Like, I can maybe if I push it, fit the CJ on here. But I don't know if I want to on this wood. Because I think it's the original wood. By the looks of it, it doesn't look like they restored that. I think that's from factory wood. So, 1960s wood. Giggity? Anyway. And another cool thing, you can see the engine through the grate in the back. I love that. See? Wait. It is a Italian sports car, because look. It is a mid-engine, sort of, vehicle with sort of glass covering so you can see the engine. Sure, it's MASH, but let's not go there. Anyway, I ramble. But I am so glad to have my dream Jeep. I love this thing. It is fantastic. And you'll probably see me do some videos on this. I kind of want to change out the rear end a bit and get some more speed out of it. Although driving it today was a bit interesting. Speedo was reading 30. I didn't believe it. It felt like I was doing 50. It was sketchy. And granted, it was on a windy road. And then the other thing is you can see, here's the shifting mechanism. It's a very complicated linkage because there's your shift linkage. Remember, the engine is there, so transmission's even further back. So it's a very complicated system. And, or sorry, wait, I'm backwards here. I think the transmission's actually right here. So it is just it's a strange linkage. It has to go across, I think, if I remember right. But yeah, anyway, I digress. There's a aftermarket shift plate you can install on this because the linkage that is from factory, at least in the early years until like the later years of production, they fixed it, but it would allow you to shift into 2 gears at once. So you'd get into second and third, and it locks up your transmission, brings you to a grinding halt, bad things. And the same thing with reverse and first. It can wiggle in a way that it gets both gears, and I want to fix that. So yeah, so there'll be future videos, and I'm sure there'll be videos of me taking it out and lots of pictures. So I hope you are excited to see these things, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Well, you probably won't, because I'm insane, I guess is the word. So thank you, and I hope you have a nice night.